Derp, derpity derp 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 diddy derp 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 diddy derp derp derp.
Okay, hey guys, AC932 here, otherwise known as Parker the Dog 4, otherwise known as RK9932. So many names. So, here we have the Object 430. This is going to be a tank review. I'm going to be just explaining what this tank is all about, showing you some features, some problems with it, and then I'll be showing you a few games that I've had, a few good games. Haven't had that many good games ever, but, you know, I'll show you what I've had. So, first off, we'll take a look in the actual garage, and then we'll pop into a third-party program called Tank Inspector to take a closer look at the armor profile and such. So here's the Object 430. It is a pretty low tank. If we were to take a look at this versus, for example, the T-34, you can see the T-34 is definitely higher. Also, the Su-85, about the same height. It's a very low-profile tank. One of the tanks that comes before it, the Object 416, is actually so low that some of the taller, for example, German heavy tanks, cannot point their gun down enough when you're right up next to them, which is a nice little feature. They will have a hard time hitting this because when they do come into close contact with you, they can only really shoot the cupolas, and right here, that's not a huge target if you kind of juke around a little bit. So there are, in the game, 3 Tier 10 Russian medium tanks. There is the Object 140, the T-62A, and the newest edition, which is the one that I have in my garage, the Object 430. Now, as far as DPM is concerned, the T-62A and the Object 140 have better DPM than the Object 430. However, I am almost positive that they all have better DPM than every single other medium tank at Tier 10, other than the Japanese SDB-1, which has base 2925 DPM, and obviously you'd probably have vents and a tank and a gun rammer along with that. As far as equipment goes on this, I do have a vertical stabilizer because the gun handling on this tank is not particularly good. It gets very inaccurate as you're turning the turret, although it seems to be okay going on the move. I have a medium caliber tank gun rammer because, you know, I mean, it's a very good thing to have. It increases that, decreases that reload by about 10%. And I did have vents on this, but I've gone with fill tanks with CO2 because it's not terribly. I mean, the frontal plate is pretty good. It is 120 millimeters thick, and it has a pretty good angle to it. And generally from the front, you won't be penning these cheeks. But when you do get through this front plate, or even the lower plate, which is relatively easy to pen as well, you will almost always have your fuel tanks hit. This entire area is just, your fuel tanks will be hit. So I was getting kind of fire a lot, so I switched out vents for fill tanks and CO2. As far as the gun, it does get 50 rounds of ammunition. Base ammunition is APCR, which has 198 to 330 penetration. And we'll take a look at the gun here. It is a 100mm gun, which is the same gun as on the T-62A and the 140, except this one has 8.7 rounds per minute of fire, versus on the T-62A, for example, or the Object 140, it's the same DPM for both. They have 9.09 rate of fire. So they have a relatively significant amount more DPM. So 264 millimeters penetration with your armor-piercing rounds, APCR, 330 with HEAT, heat ammunition, premium ammo, and 50 millimeters of penetration with high explosive. It's a 2.3 second aim time, 0.35 accuracy, not bad, not terrible. 320 damage alpha with heat and APCR. And we're going to just take a quick look at the gun on, again, same thing on the T-62A and the Object 140. If you look, these do have better aim time, better accuracy. So as far as the gun handling goes, this tank is significantly worse. However, there is a relatively significant difference. We're going to pull up the vehicle details. So we got the 430 here, 140 on the left, 62A on the right. So details and whatever. As far as hit points goes, 140, 430 had the least. 62A has 50 more, not great. It is the lightest of the three, the 430 is, with the T62A being the heaviest in a stock configuration. They all have the same exact engine power. As far as the speed limit goes, the 62A is the slowest, but only by 5 kilometers an hour. As far as hull traverse speed goes, 430 is the slowest, at 52 degrees per second, whereas the 140 has 54 degrees per second, and the 62A has 56 degrees per second. Hull armor. It does have the best front and side hull armor. I say best. 120 millimeters thick at the front of the hull, versus 100 on the 140 and 102 on the 62A. As far as the side, it is the same as the 140 at 80 millimeters thick, and better by 5 millimeters on the 262A, which has, I should say, 75 millimeters of armor. However, as far as the bum goes, it has the least amount of armor, with the 140 having 55, 62A having 45, and the 430 having 40 millimeters of rear armor, which means it is definitely a viable option to fire high explosive ammunition into the rear of the 430, definitely doing a lot of damage to the engine and just overall causing havoc. Now on to the turret, which is really the, I guess you could say, the pinnacle of the Object 430. So the 140 has 240 millimeters turret armor, as does the 62A, but the 430 has 248 millimeters of turret armor, which means that it is definitely a very bouncy turret, or at least it is on the 430 version too. I'm going to show you some discrepancies in that 248 millimeters frontal turret armor. Side of the turret, it's about 262A has the least, 140 and the 430 are about the same, 185, 187, and the back of the turret is par to the norm as far as the rear armor is crap. Although it's only by 2 millimeters, it's only 2 millimeters less than the 140 and the 62A at 63 millimeters thick. So I've already gone over the rate of fire. Turret traverse speed is the same as on the 140, but it is 8 millimeters. Jesus. Speaking! It is occurring today. Turret traverse speed is 8 degrees per second slower than on the 62A. View range is the same for all of them, and this T62A does have a better radio, but yeah, it's a radio. Doesn't really matter. So we're going to go back to the garage, and so yeah. I'm just going to go over real quick the crew skills that I've gone with, and yeah, and I guess then we'll pop into Tank Inspector and take a more detailed look at the armor profile. So here's my crew. I have, they're pretty well trained up. I actually took these guys from the Object 432, which actually, in my mind, if you look at the turret, it's pretty much the same exact turret. 10 meters less view range, but other than that, it's the same exact turret. And call me crazy, but it is really, as far as armor goes, this is a better tank. If you look, it's the same as far as the hull, it's the same on the turret, although this doesn't really do it justice. It's not. It's showing you the stock turret, but actually, it looks like it's been decreased in the latest patch. It's interesting, but same armor, technically, for the turret, but if you look at the 430, it has these very prominent cupolas here, and the 432, not only is it much better as far as the armor goes, especially because you can side scrape so much better with it, because it has a rear-mounted turret, but these cupolas, they just don't exist. And it's also, it's a bit of a, as far as the turret goes, rather than having this slant, which can pretty easily be penetrated, it's only like 20 millimeters thick or something. It's more of a, it's still rounded, but it, instead of having the slant to it, kind of flattens off and doesn't have these very visible cupolas. So back to the crew. On the crew, I have gone for the commander, Sixth Sense, on the other guys, repairs, and on the loader, safe stowage, because on the 432, when you get shot in the back, the ammo rack appears to be like right here and right here. So as far as that goes, it's very easy to get ammo racked. This isn't too bad as far as the ammo rack is concerned, but I have been ammo racked a few times, and I can't help but think that this has probably prevented a horrible explosion. As far as second skill, I've gone for repairs, camo, off-road driving, and repairs, because it's always good to have repairs on your medium tank crews. So they repair the tracks and such pretty fast. Off-road driving because, well, might as well go as fast as you can. And yeah, camouflage because, well, it's a gunner. They don't really have that many great skills. As far as the third skill, which is what I'm currently working on, I've gone with camo on the commander and camo on the loader. And I've gone also camo on the driver. And as far as the gunner goes, I've gone for a snapshot because, as I've said, the gun handling on this tank is quite poor. And when you are traversing the turret, it does like to it just disperses a lot. So we'll hop over into Tank Inspector and we'll take a look at just what's going on as far as the armor on this tank. Okay, hey guys, don't know if this is actually going to work. I've jerry-rigged some strange recording software thing. We'll see. But anyway, here it is, the Object 430 in Tank Inspector, which, if you did not know, it just shows you your tank. You can select it if you like, and you can look at the armor profile. So I'm going to switch to something that would likely be shooting back at you. The gun of choice of most of the medium tanks is indeed 105mm APCR. And so we'll be using that as our benchmark. And here we can see the armor profile of the Object 430. We'll be looking at it from a level gun standpoint, although most tanks are probably going to be more like that. And we will just do this. Okay. So as you can see, the front plate is 120mm thick, but because of the angling, as you get up here, it's more like 200, and as you get down here, it's a bit more like 180. The lower plate, if we were to go to this, lower plate is equal to about, from gun level, it's equal to about 275. So you're probably better off shooting this area right between the tracks. It's about as big as the lower plate, and you'll probably be a bit more likely to pen it, especially if you're in a bit of a taller tank. If they are above you in the Object 430, the lower plate is definitely the best choice. This is equivalent to, I mean, look at this. It gets really, really thick. 268 up there. Anyway, back to this. Let's reset this to normal. Okay, back to this. So, these cheeks right here, they're pretty much auto bounce. It's only 40mm thick, but it's just so well sloped that you can see right there. There's no real chance of getting through that. All of this is also, it's only 55mm thick, so again, that's a bit of a lie. It's 80 right there behind the tracks, but I mean, you know, that's automatic ricochet with the 105. This is all automatic ricochet if you have a side scrape such as this. But if you do have a side scrape like that, there's the cupola. And the cupola is 160mm thick. Not only that, but I mean, even the sides of the turret. If we were to look straight on from the turret, we've already ruled out this. If they're hull down, so basically if you can't shoot anything maybe here, there's always this area that you could shoot at, but let us say they were hull down pretty much perfectly, so only the turret was showing. If that is the case, you know, if you have, for example, heat loaded, this area of armor right here is definitely an option. Only 315. The heat ammunition on this tank has 330mm of penetration, so you could definitely just derp your way right through there. Over here, it's 280, and then it just gets, because of the angle, gets thicker and thicker. But this area right here, this is only 200mm thick, even 180 over here, and same over here. And even going off of that, even if you don't hit the cupolas, look at this. 105mm thick right there. That's equivalent to 100mm thick. You aren't really going to get through the 76mm kind of band right there, but all of this is only 30mm thick. You can easily penetrate that with a 105mm APCR shell. As far as the sides, side of the turret, as long as you don't aim for the front of it, aim here straight under the cupola, it's out you want to hit. All of this, you'll penetrate the side if you hit it, basically, as long as you hit behind the halfway mark of the turret. Rear of the tank, measly 40mm thick, and then again with the discrepancies in the armor. Cupolas are visible for all of the side, but even that little hatch, not really a weak spot, because, I mean, you'll penetrate that no matter what, basically. And this is what I was saying, as far as this cupola. If we were to look at the 432, you'll see, yeah, there's cupolas, but that's a thicker, I mean, look at this. This is still 105 armor piercing from the same angle. Look at how much harder of a target that is to hit, and even right here, that's 248 millimeters of armor. You have to get right onto that, and not many guns in the game are accurate, even at very close range, to be able to hit that small strip of armor. So, in essence, this is a much better turret. Just wanted to throw that out there. So, we're now going to compare this. Let's make a reference to the, and frankly, I think we're going to reference the Object 140, I think sounds good. So, referencing to this to the Object 140, if we look at the stats, firepower, penetration, damage is the same. DPM, though, DPM is less, because the Object 140 in configuration such as this has 3,033 DPM versus this, the Object 430's 2,901. Reload time on this is longer, rate of fire is worse, max ammo is the same, and all of this is, the same. Basically, this is a live stat, doesn't really matter when we're looking at this. Now, the camo, and this kind of relates to my crew skill choice, the camo is better by a few percentage. It's about 1% on stationary. Again, about 1% on most of these. So it can be used as a scout depending on your crew skill, and if you have camo painted on it. Maneuverability, the Object 140 is definitely more maneuverable. Although, why is that? Mobility, sorry. Okay, maneuverability, well, same thing. Shut up. Specific power, it's slightly better. Better horsepower per ton, but only by 0.3, not really much. And terrain resistance is less. Sorry, more, it's more. So, yeah, again, slightly less maneuverable. It won't handle the soft terrain quite as well. But this is what I was talking about. So, the aiming circle spread after a shot is the same, but on turret traverse is much worse, as you can see by the 3 lines. Vehicle moving, much worse. Vehicle traverse, much worse. Full speed traversing, much worse. Full speed, much worse. Full speed traversing, much worse. When the gun, it's just worse. As far as elevation, slightly worse elevation, much worse gun depression, which the Object 140 has 6 degrees, whereas this has 5 degrees. And if I were to look at this, you can also see there's a small area over here where it just pops right up because it just can't get the gun down. Right here. As you can see, it's about flat, maybe. I think that was -2 degrees is what that was listed as. So as you can see, as far as, okay, yeah, all of these, the modules are the same health. But the armor, again, it's better. That's really the forte of this tank, is better armor. Sorry about that. I have, what is it, TeamSpeak up. So yeah, there's maneuverability as far as battle, it's pretty much the same. Average efficiency, whatever. That doesn't really matter, that's based on players rather than the actual tank. So there you go. That's the tank. In Tank Inspector. So we've seen it's got pretty good armor. There's actually a small lip here, which I never realized existed. If we were to look at this here, you can. Yeah. If you're in a T1 Cunningham, there you go, right there. That small lip, 30mm thick. But there you go. There is the Object 430, my current tank of choice at tier 10. Not a bad tank, pretty decent frontal armor, especially if you can, for example, angle it like this. If you can give them maybe only this, then that's, a few hundred millimeters, it's 220mm thick, even getting up to about 270 up here, which is pretty good for, let's look at for example, the IS-7. With its 130mm gun, 250mm penetration. So, you can definitely bounce a few shots, but you can definitely have some go straight in. And that's the thing about it. It works when it works, doesn't work when it doesn't work. It's pretty decent for side scraping. You can definitely bounce shots off there, but if I can get to see your cupola, then you're kind of screwed, which is why I generally actually side scrape like this. Which, yeah, sure, it gives them this, but it's much harder for them to actually get a decent shot. If you have, for example, let's say about here is the line, you poke out. If this is the wall right here, they can't really pen this area. They might be able to pen this depending on their elevation, like if they're like this. But let's be honest, you won't be shooting them at that angle. So, I mean, let's say it's about this. This is probably more of a reasonable upwards elevation type thing. If this is your wall right here, they really... Heat shells will get through this, but it's still pretty thick. And that's... So, yeah. Basically, you're just trying not to give them your cupola because of the side armor on this turret. Okay, hey guys. So, here we go. This is my Ace Mastery badge in the Object 430. As you can see, XVM was rating this at a 51% chance. So, we're just going to go ahead and watch what happens here. So, Object 430, it's pretty quick, and it is very good at side scraping. So, what I was thinking at the time was I'll head up here, and I'll hopefully be able to side scrape off some of the buildings up here, and give myself a combat advantage there. So, we will see what happens. I think I might end up speeding up the replay here, so I'll put it into fixed camera. So, we'll just speed it up till I get there, because nothing much is going to happen. And, basically, what I want to do here is, yeah, you can see the chat kind of derps out. But, I want to make it so that they can either only shoot, like, right here. So they, either they have to shoot my side, or they can only shoot my turret. Which will basically give me the best chance of hopefully bouncing. So I'll go back into fixed camera here. And I'm going to be going up here, because, I see that there aren't any real, and nothing is really being, threatening me, and, encountering another Object 430 here. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that, let's pause it here. So, we know that there's the 1390 and the 430 here. I know the 430 has pretty terrible gun depression. And I do know, as well, that there are quite a few tank destroyers on the enemy team. There is a J-Panzer E100 and a 263. There's also a Jagdtiger, a 704, and a Waffle Tractor Panzer IV. There's also 3 artillery, 2 of which are tier 10, and 1 of which is a tier 9 with essentially the T-92's gun. They are also all in a platoon. And we'll see that one of these, I think it's either the Bat Chat or the, you can see, I mean, already hammering these guys. And I believe this 48 Patton's about to be just wrecked by artillery here. Because I do not want to, I didn't want to sit out and maybe get shot by artillery. So we're seeing there's this Centurion here. He's currently, and there, yeah, he was just murdered by artillery. And there you can see I'm side scraping around this building as best as I can. And with the currently the snapshot nature of this fight, he's not really able to put any precise shots into my track right here, because that would likely go in. No, he's having to shoot at the armor on the side, which, as we saw, is not only angled in that portion, but yeah. I'm side scraping, essentially, is what's happening here. So I'm going to go back into fixed camera, and we'll see what's happening here. I'm putting, if you look at the Centurion, and yeah, there you can see I was angling my turret so that he couldn't really put shots into, so you can see here I'm angling my turret so that shots don't go into the cupolas, because that gets really annoying in this tank, because you know the armor on the turret is very, very good, but they can, when they put shots in your cupola when you're side scraping just perfectly, it does get very annoying. So I'm going to go back and fix camera and hopefully see what happens. And, yep, he hit my gun there. That's okay, though. And I put a relatively good shot into him, killing him, which is nice. So now, going forward, hopefully, maybe taking out this 1390, and definitely getting into cover from artillery, which, as you can see, just took out the poor 4502A behind me. So this will be a pretty pathetic little kill. But, there you go. 1390 is now dead. He can no longer spot us. I used the repair kit on the gun, and currently I'm only at 417 damage. But we'll see why I got my ace tanker in this game in a second. So I'm just dodging Artie here. And nothing much is going to happen for a second. I'm just going to keep maneuvering around. Try to spy any tank destroyers on that ridge up there. Which is why I'm poking at that corner over there. And we'll see that our bat chat over there, Rip Hawk, I don't know. Our bat chat is going to decide, and rightly so, that we need to throw a scout up there. He's going to take it upon himself to do such a thing. Which, frankly, yeah, as you can see, there he is in chat. Damn, we need a scout. And he's trying to get our 1390 to come over here, but 1390 ain't having any of that. I'm just telling the team there that I was spotted when I poked. And, there you go. There's the bat chat. He's moving up. And I'm actually going to snipe here for a second. And you'll see I'm going to bounce off of this waffle tractor. And wait for it. Bounced off his gun. Unfortunately, didn't actually get any armor. It's kind of when, yeah. So, already just took out the waffle tractor pencil, waffle 4, and I'm going to start moving up here, so the, hopefully I can get some, well, hopefully I can, just keep the Yak Tiger from hitting me with a shot. Same with artillery, actually. KV-4 up there. No shots on him. I'm on the move anyway. I'm also speaking. So this bat chat's working over the KV-4, who did just miss. And the bat chat's not moving very quickly. He's probably having lag, though. So I'm noticing the Yak Tiger is kind of looking over here, but I'm going to throw in a shot on this KV-4. Hopefully try to track him. I missed. Oh well. So here, I'm noticing, there you go, side of the Yak Tiger. I can just auto-aim, throw a shot into him, move around the KV-4, who's trying desperately to angle. And here's when you'll see the turret armor in motion. I just want to slow this down here for you. Oh, bollocks. Okay, that's big crap. Right. Oh, jeez. Okay, so, there we go. And, play it. So, okay, take out the Yak Tiger. And here we'll be able to see the turret armor. He shoots, yep, right there, into the side, into the cheek of my turret. Right there. And again, 248mm stick, and he was pretty much straight on, but it is a curved surface. So, he did not really have that much of a chance. So, our bat chat is reloaded. He's got 15 seconds left on the reload. And we'll see this M53-55 is about to take him out. There we go. So, I know the 53-55 is not a threat. And I'm looking, but there you go. GWA-100 was just taken out by our artillery. So I'm just going to auto-aim on this 53-55. 113 misses me by basically a mile. And there you go. So he's dead. Up to 1100 damage, but I'm getting spotting damage right now, which is nice. And we'll see what really makes this a mastery badge in a second here. So, going for the T-92. And there you go. Trying to make it so he'll miss, just kind of dodge. We're below him now. And no, we are reloaded. And shot right into him. There we go. We're going to pull back here, and then we're going to try to get a new approach on this 113, sorry. I don't know why the names are showing up in orange. They are. Oops, oh well. It's a game. It's a bug, I guess. Anyway. So we're going to move up here, and there's this 113 that I think he ends up shooting me. No, okay, he hits probably the T-92's gun. And, I use, this was on my this is on my computer, so I can't really aim through foliage that well. So I just use the arcade mode aim. And that goes in, which is nice, but I do get hit by him. And there's Artie. That's basically what makes this game. 2,067 spotting damage, essentially, on that guy. And I'm up to 6 kills now, which is nice, 1,967 damage. And I'm noticing that this 263 is coming around here. He fires, he misses, and then there's this 48 Patton here, who's on more health, I guess. That's probably what he was thinking. So I'm just able to put in some shots on the back of this guy. I auto-aim, and, yeah, so that's nice. just able to put a few shots in this guy, pick up some free damage, and I realize now that I should be shooting this guy in the tracks. So I'll get a bit more assistance damage off of this, which is nice. So, yep, here's when I realize that I have my top gun. And now I'm just going to move over, hopefully get some more shots in the J-Panzer and the 704. So we'll just speed this up. Just going along. I get a bit of a snapshot off on this J-Panzer, which is nice. I managed to juke it out, and the 704 isn't able to put a shot into me. He only gets my tracks, but unfortunately my shot bounces off of his I guess space side armor. I don't know. But there you go. There's my mastery badge, and I'll be showing you guys the results. But there's another game I think I'll show you. Maybe. We'll just look at the results. So I will see you then. Okay, so here we go. Results for the first battle. So as you can see, it was my ace tanker, and I got a top gun as well. 4,100 experience for my daily double, and 77,538 credits made. This was running with a premium account, which was free premium, as you can see from here, from a event. But 1,367 base experience, 3656 damage, 22 shots fired, 21 hits, 17 penetrations. Would have made 19 grand on a standard account, made 45 grand on a premium account. It was 2050 experience base with premium, which is why I got 4,100 experience. Now, as you can see, 1,600 damage blocked by armor, 6 hits received, 4 penned, 2 didn't pen, and 1 hit was received as a result of splash damage. Now, 3,656 damage, pretty good. However, if you look here, that's where it really comes in. 4,216 assistance damage. So that's nice. Pretty good game. I enjoyed it. And I'll show you the results for the second battle. Oh. Okay, guys. Okay, yeah, I'm back. So, yes, I lied. I'm actually going to be doing another replay for you all. This one, it'll kind of highlight, basically, pretty much the same qualities, actually. This time, the map is, I believe it's called Lakeville, yes, sir. And I am platooned with Alberto115, who is, he's a really decent friend of mine. This was his last game of the day. There I am in chat saying let's make it a good one, but he actually will die very early this game, despite his prowess in this game. I believe XBM was rating this at a 43%. He's a good player. Well, I don't want to say I'm crap, but well, yeah. So I'm just gonna speed it up here. Not much really happens. Go to the town. We spot all of that. This cluster of, oh god. A lot of stuff coming towards us. So, I'm going to switch back to fixed camera. I'm trying to side scrape here, but there's nothing to side scrape against. As you can see, we're the first two into the town. There's a trail of heavy tanks behind us, and we have a SDI or SD1, whatever you want to call it, an M103 in the down the 1-2 line. They won't be horribly useless, but they won't be horribly useful either. I think they do hold off a few of the enemy tanks. I don't remember, actually. I wasn't really paying attention. This is actually a game I had today. So yeah. There's this E75 right here, and I have no idea how that... I don't even know. I have no idea where that went in, or just... I don't know. I do it again, but it doesn't go in. It was more a panic shot, because I was worried about... It was suppressing fire. It was suppressing fire, is what it was. So I'm realizing now that there's a bunch of crap about to just outflank my friend there, and I get caught, and that probably doesn't help his survival chances. So he dies pretty early in this game. So sucks for him. There you go. He's just taking 1,100 damage, and he's about to be killed. So there he is. And I was actually thinking we were going to lose this one, because if you look, that is a ton of heavies for what we have in this town. So, I'm gonna try to help out this Conqueror here. We got two heavies on every other route, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll help out this guy. And there we go, Alberto. I'm off. See you later. So, yeah, just moving around, trying to see if I can get some shots on these guys, but I don't want to get in this Conqueror. I don't want to get in his way, because, you know, be a bit crap if I did. So I'd try for a shot, and I shouldn't have pulled the trigger there. That was a bit of a dirt move on my part. But I see that I have a pretty good opportunity on the back of this T-54E1 in a second. Yeah, that was never going to go in front of a E100 turret. No, definitely not. But there you go. 54E1, back of him. And here we'll see the armor of this tank. And I just want to show. There you go. He lower plate, upper front plate. Those American autoloaders, they don't have the greatest pen. And I'm going to poke out here because I thought the J-Panzer had just fired. Turns out he didn't. So, there you go. And I'm pretty sure he's about to be taken out by the E100. Speaking of E100s, I think I get a shot up. No, I don't, actually. I dunk it into a wall. So that is a few shots that I've dunked in this game already. But, yeah. So, I'm thinking, okay, I can easily help out this E100 here. And this E100, the enemy E100, is now looking the wrong way, basically, as far as I'm concerned. Also, as you can see, I'm not actually sure. It was either that E100. It was either the J-Panzer or the T-54E1. Definitely not the T-54. Okay, so the Panzer E100. He took out my fuel tanks. Well, took them out. He damaged them, and that was a shot in the side. So that does kind of go to show you, pretty much in the very front or the very back of this tank, you will have your fuel taken out. It is very easy to be set on fire on this thing. So I guess it wouldn't be a terrible idea to and yeah, that missed. Yeah. Wouldn't be a terrible idea, I suppose, to have a automatic fire extinguisher, because not only is that a automatic fire extinguisher, but you also get, there you go, Lorraine missed. You get extra fire protection. So I'm able to put a few shots in the side of C-100, who is now turning to face me. I don't want to say rather stupidly, but, you know. So there you go, I track him, which, that'll give me a little bit of assisting damage if someone actually shoots him. And someone does, which is nice. And got the lip of his tank right there. So, able to take him out with a shot to the lower plate with 62 damage. So nothing much is going to happen here for a little bit. We spot the bat chat, he gets taken out by someone else. The FB-215B, who makes a pretty monster shot. Tu-95 misses there. And we're going to highlight just what to do as far as the turret on this tank is concerned. So I'm just looking around, seeing where the team is. I picked up 3 kills at this point. Kind of going to dunk it, but that's fine. So I'm trying to kind of move around here, get a position where I can move up to that building up over here. Get some solid cover right in front of me. So there you go. I'm getting small running up, and just trying to get over here. Maybe try to prompt the team to move, which it might have. I don't know. The E100, I believe, does just say that he asks the 183 if he's ready to go up now. There you go. There he is in chat. So we're about to make our move. There's only 4 enemy tanks, and we spotted pretty much all of them over there. We have a pretty good. We can be pretty confident that the Waffle Tractor is over there as well, seeing as our Yag Tiger has not, well, doesn't appear to have any resistance right now. So the 120 is moving up. The 100 looks like he's about to start moving. IS-8 is going to do a quick flanking maneuver. I'm in the middle here, just trying to get some cheeky shots off on whatever I can. So Lorraine was last spotted, pretty much right in front of me. There's the Waffle Tractor. And stay aiming at the Waffle. This time I don't miss, hit his gun shield with a relatively high, well, relatively pretty good roll of 377. I'm kind of worried about this T-95 hitting me. And I'm also worried about the fact that Lorraine might be hiding a little bit, but would appear he isn't. So that's nice. Although, yeah, something just slammed to the rock or the ground over there. And I've been spotted. So here I'm just trying to move up, maybe get into some lower ground, hopefully move up to a new building, just so I can, there's the Lorraine, just so I can get some shots off on the T-95 and the Waffle. So yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get a shot off on the T-95, don't have anything good, so I just realized at that point when I see the tracer fire, that the 1390 is right there. And I see that the T-95 is facing the wrong way, so I'm moving up, and moving up, and then I say to myself, oh, he's not facing the wrong way anymore. So, thankfully, he does, I dunk shot, suppressing fire, but he also manages to toss one to the ground as well. So I now know that it's safe to move up to this 1390. I track him in place, and here's when you'll see the turret, if I can activate the free cam. Go to 1/2 speed. So you can see that penetration right into the cheek kind of area. Don't really know how I pulled that one off, but I mean, it's entirely possible. No, he's not firing premium. I don't know. I don't know. It went in. That's all that matters. So now I have to reload, and you'll see right here, he bounces one off the turret, and wait for it. There you go. Straight in the cupola. So yeah. Again, cupola it's definitely a penetrable spot, and actually that looks like it went to the 30 millimeters of the turret armor that's on top of the tank, rather than the cupola itself. But again, that's what will happen if you side scrape and don't point your turret over there. So I'm going to move up here. Lorraine's over here, and unfortunately that shot goes in. And I ram him, but oops, oh well. And nothing much else happens in the game. He's murdered by our friendlies. So, there you go, and I'm going to show you the results to the battles right now. So, here's the results for the second battle. 2,000 experience, 2,032, 34,918 grand. This was without premium. As far as experience, I was third on the team with 1,016 base. As far as damage, third on the team as well. 3,168 damage. 21 fired, 17 hits, 15 penetrations, 7 hits received, 4 of which penned, 3 of which did not pen, 1,020 damage blocked by armor, 4 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 destroyed, 8 damage, only 980 spotting damage, lost 12 grand, would have made 5 with premium account, but I dunked a lot of shells. That was my double with 2,032 experience, would have been 3,000 experience gain with premium, which would have been a first or maybe the master class badge. So yeah, that is the Object 430, and again, it's got pretty good armor, it's pretty mobile, it has pretty good DPM, it's an all-rounder. It's got pretty terrible gun depression though, so keep that in mind. It's suitable, if you play an Object 140, T62A, it's kind of like that, just a bit better at side scraping and with crap DPM comparatively. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time. I will be seeing you around, I hope, at least. If any of you guys have actually watched this video, that would be nice. So I will see you in the next time. Goodbye.